What exactly is the Panama Canal? It's a vital waterway linking the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. So imagine it as a shortcut that spares ships from traveling an extra 7,000 miles all the way around South America. Stretching 51 miles across Panama, this canal cuts right through the country, connecting Central and South America. This idea for a canal through Panama goes all the way back to 16th century. But it wasn't until early 20th century that the US made it a reality. Now, this is after aiding Panama's independence, the US struck a treaty to construct and control the canal. However, construction was grueling. Over 5,600 workers lost their lives to accidents and diseases before the canal was completed in 1914. In just this year, ending September 30th, nearly 10,000 ships passed through. They transported an incredible over 400 million tons of goods, which included food, minerals, and other manufactured products. So it's hard to overstate its importance in the global trade, especially since over 40% of consumer goods shipped between Northeast Asia and the US East Coast depend on this very canal. So now let's talk about who owns it. For the past 25 years, Panama has managed the canal through the Panama Canal Authority, which is run by the government, but it wasn't always this way. Back in 1904, the US took control of the canal zone after supporting Panama for its independence. They opened the canal in 1914, which revolutionized the shipping by allowing thousands of cargo and military vessels to pass through the canal every year. But this wasn't without controversy. Panamanians were excluded from the canal zone, and that led to rising tensions, especially in 1950s. Then the things got so bad that a wall was built, separating the Panama City from the Panama Canal. So the breaking point came on January 9, 1964. The protest against the US control was culminated in violence. And due to that, 28 people lost their lives. So this tragedy intensified the world pressure on the US to relinquish its control in the canal zone. So finally in 1977, then US President Jimmy Carter and Panamanian leader Omar Torrijos signed a treaty to begin transferring the control of the canal from the US to Panama. So after years of joint administration, Panama gained the full control of the canal on December 31st, 1999. Now the question is, why Donald Trump now involved in the canal? Recently, Trump, as the president-elect of the US, suggested that Panama should return the canal if its management doesn't meet with the expectations of the US. He criticized the fees Panama charges for using the canals by the ships of the US, calling them exorbitant and a rip-off of the United States. So according to Trump, these fees unfairly burden US businesses and government entities. So that was the main reason why Trump wants it back. But this time, Panama's president, Jose Raul Mulino, shot back. He not only dismissed Trump's allegations, but he emphasized that the canal is an integral part of Panama and will remain under Panamanian ownership. So why does the Panama Canal matter so much? Now let's talk about it. Because it's absolutely important for international trade. By reducing the distance that the ships have to travel between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans by up to 7,000 nautical miles, it saves money and time on a massive scale. In 2023 alone, about 12,600 vessels used the canal to transport over 500 million tons of goods. So here's the kicker. The US is the canal's largest customer, which accounts for 75% of its traffic, and with China coming second also. So every year, the canal facilitates about $270 million of cargo. And also, global shipping companies save by choosing the Panama Canal over alternative routes. So that's why Panama Canal is so important to the world and so important to the United States. But the canal isn't without challenges. Climate change has brought droughts that reduce water levels, which limits the number of ships passed through daily. In late 2023, crossing dropped from 36 ships a day to just 22 ships. Some ships even paid up to $4 million just to jump into the queue. So when compared to the Suez Canal, Panama Canal is smaller. The Panama Canal processes up to 14,000 vessels a year, accounting for around 5% of global trade. So because all of this, it's still a cornerstone for trade between Asia and America. So in this context, debates like Trump's criticism have sparked a renewed interest in the canal's operations and fees. However, experts argue that there's no legal basis for the US to reclaim the canal. And also, Panama leaders insist that their fees are fair and they are necessary for maintenance of the canals and their future upgrades. So experts warn that any move by the US or Trump to take control of the canal could not only harm the US-Panama relations, but also it strain the regional cooperation. So there you have it. Everything you want to know about the new controversy of the Panama Canal. Remember, Panama Canal is so important. Panama Canal is still the center of global attention. So if you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, share and subscribe San Global and hit the bell notification for more videos to come. So until the next video, take care.